Yes, dairy farmer from near Spatria, and last year I started to use willow chip as a bedding for both my dairy cattle and for calves and for the sheep to lamb. Has a lot of benefits. It's quite antibacterial, it doesn't heat up the same as straw, so I thought we'd sort of give it a go. Saw Neil at Lowes Water Show and got a load sent. The first thing that struck me was the sheer volume that you actually get for your money. It doesn't have to be processed again because obviously it's already chopped. And so we just started to use it. We tended to put it in probably sort of a foot 18 inches deep in the pens for the sort of dry cows, in-calf heifers. Leave it in for a certain length of time, just depends on how fast it sort of appears to go dirty or how much build up of sort of manure you're getting amongst it. And then after that we then tend to just bed with straw on top of it, and what we find with that is that the straw lasts a lot longer because it's not as wet. The moisture, any water drains through the chip, and so the straw stays drier, and so you get more out of your straw on top of it. And then of course when you come to clean the shed out, the chip ends up mixed in amongst the straw and midden it up and then just spread it as you would normally. This year also then we lambed the sheep on it, and literally just put sort of 6 inches across the shed, put the sheep in, and they were absolutely fine. They didn't it didn't wrap around the feet, it stays clean, it doesn't heat up the same as you do with straw. So yeah, that seemed to work really well. And of course the big interest this coming 12 months is going to be the fact that the straw price or straw availability, never mind price, could be quite challenging, given the way that the crops have been, the winter crops have been, and given the fact that people then haven't necessarily sown spring crops and they've just put it into SFI, and all these sort of things are actually going to have a knock-on effect on the availability of straw. So we've seen this as a good alternative, and it's certainly done a job for us. Yeah, it isn't sharp. You sort of think, ooh, will it be uncomfortable? Will it be prickly? Will it affect the feet? Will it maybe? Doesn't seem to have any of those sort of issues. I've used a variety of different bedding products in the past. Some of the sort of sawdust, the very fine dusts, aren't good for animal or human. Some of the papers need replenishing that often. They go quite wet, and you're constantly cleaning them out and bedding them down. But we don't seem to get that. You don't have that same problem with the chip. So it's worked well from that point of view. So Neil has been involved in the willow growing and production and chipping for probably as long as I can remember, from his early days. He knows the job inside out. He really has an understanding of how to get the most out of a willow crop. And yeah, if he's always there on the end of the phone if you wanted anything. Yeah, it's always good to be dealing with somebody that understands what it is that you're talking about.